Today, I'm going to quickly show you how to create a loading bar with text. There are actually two ways to add a loading bar. You can use the default loading bar and modify that, or you can build your own from scratch. It's good exercise to learn how it's made so you can easily customize your own. To start building your loading bar, open an empty skin editor or an existing project. For this example, I want to put my loading bar and text at the bottom center of the movie window. So to make it easier for me to place my loader, I'm going to shorten the width of the editor window. To make the bar, click here on the rectangle tool in the toolbar and then draw a rectangle. Double-click on the bar in the tree or in the editor window to bring up its settings. I want my bar to scale to show the loading progress by moving or expanding from left to right. So here, next to scaling, I'll set the center to the middle left. This will control the left to right movement of the bar. If I were to leave the center control at its default, which is in the center, the bar would scale out in both right and left directions. Choose a background color and a border size and color if you want. To make the bar move in relation to how much the movie has loaded, you'll need to create a modifier. To animate the rectangle, go to the Actions tab and in the Modifiers section, choose Scale X as the target value. This will scale or make the rectangle expand along its x-axis. To animate the rectangle in relation to loading time, choose Loading as the source value. I want this loading bar to grow to its current length, so I'll give it a factor of 1. Raising the factor to 2, for example, would scale the rectangle to twice its original size. If it's necessary that your loading element be visible from the start, you can choose an offset of, say, 1 so that a portion of the object is already visible and will continue to scale from that point. Click OK when you're done. Now to add some text. Use the text tool in the toolbar to draw the text box. To write something in the box, you need to open the settings sheet and enter the text there. You can add an ID for the text, and this is helpful if you have a lot of text boxes. This text field is where you add the text for the text box. You can use some basic HTML tags to make the text, for example, bold or italic. Also useful for loading is showing how much of the panorama has loaded. You can use the placeholder $P to represent this. You can also use placeholders to call up any information you've added to the user data fields. For instance, $UT will add the title. A full list of placeholders that can be used in any text field is found in the online documentation in the reference section. Choose a text color and alignment, enable the background and border and their colors, or disable them if you prefer. And when you're done, click OK. Almost done. The rectangle and text just need to be arranged and anchored and given some actions. It's good practice to use a container to help arrange and control the elements. Draw a container around the elements and make them the children of the container. Now the elements can be moved in unison. For this example, the container will be anchored to the bottom center of the window, and the elements will be anchored to the top left corner of the container. Actions can also be assigned to the container, saving you from assigning the same actions to multiple elements. An action needs to be set up that removes the loading bar and text when loading is finished. Double-click on the container and go to the Actions tab. Choose Loaded as the source and Hide Element as the action. When you do this, you notice that the target is automatically set to $self, which just means that the element will hide itself. Choosing the element's name in the list will do the same thing. There are times when you may need to have the loading bar show up again, like in a virtual tour when the user goes to multiple panoramas. And this is easy to set up. Add a new action with reload as the source and show element as the action. and make sure that the target is set to the container. And that's it. Save the skin and output the file.